Hi, my name is Dagmar, and I'm the spiritual healer, teacher, author, and speaker with Soul Matters, talking about all the things that matter, all the things that matter within our soul, right? Today I'm here to talk to you about when something persists. What does that mean, and what can we do about it? Perhaps you've experienced or are experiencing at the moment, at present time, a situation in which you're in a strife with, say, a family member or with one of your children. And no matter what you do, the situation isn't resolving. Or perhaps you're experiencing chronic pain and you keep going to the doctor who can't find anything wrong with you. Or you might be experiencing a chronic infection of some sort, perhaps chronic UTIs or chronic sinus infections or gum infections, and you keep going to the doctor and they keep giving you antibiotics, and it keeps recurring, it keeps coming back, or you can't quite get rid of it, okay, and the antibiotics seem to not work on it. All right, if you ever have been in a situation, are in a situation where something is really persisting, it's time to look a little deeper. Because quite often I find from my 15 years of healing experience of my own practice that spirit is actually way stronger than any antibiotic you can ever take or anything you can physically do, try to fix or remedy the situation. Because what it calls for in this case, when something is this persistent, is to look a little deeper into our own soul. Because what we're doing is we're creating that situation spiritually, okay? And what do I mean by that, right? First, I'm going to talk a little bit about my own situation that I recently had. I thought I caught a little virus, a little bug that kept suppressing my immune system and kept causing me tiredness and a bit of a sore throat coming on all the time. And I kept doing all these things to try to remedy that, try to kill the bug off, and it just kept coming back. It kept coming back up, and I could not get rid of it. And after a while I started thinking to myself, my God, this is like really persistent. What else is going on? And so once I started asking those questions, guess what? I started getting some answers, right? And so with my own knowing, I know that sometimes things can be held in our spiritual field. They can be held in place, okay? And it is not until we actually see it and heal it that all of a sudden, boom, goes away like magic. And so have you ever heard the term, what we resist persists? And so in these situations that I was talking about, how are we resisting? Well, how we are resisting is not seeing the underlying pain that wants to be healed, is what's happening. And because on a soul level, it's really important to your soul, to my soul, that things are seen. That we see where the pain is coming from, that we give it attention, that we look at it, and by doing so, by connecting with it, looking at it, and seeing it and recognizing it, 90% of the healing basically happens as a result of that. And this is how I work with my clients. I'm not talking about Reiki. I'm not talking about that kind of a healing. I'm talking about basically taking you back into your subconscious mind, into certain pain memories that haven't been fully resolved, including your past lifetimes, and helping you resolve them on a spiritual level. And I do this on myself all the time. When I recognize that something's being persistent in my life, I look at what is causing it. What pain memory have I not seen? What hasn't been healed? What is wanting to be healed on a soul level? What is coming up for me at this time? And so sure enough, as I figured this out for myself, and I recognized there was a past lifetime traumatic event that I experienced that was basically causing my immune system to be suppressed so that I could, dealing with this virus that I couldn't get rid of. Okay. And immediately after I healed it, after I was able to see it, after I, recognized what it was and did a certain amount of healing there, you know what? It just disappeared like magic, absolute magic, all right? That's because it is right on the money as to how the soul heals and wants to heal and what it needs, okay? And so this is what I do with people. I help you as a client go back into these pain memories, into the deeper parts of yourself where I can guarantee you haven't been before, okay? And I help you find resolution there for whatever the ailment is that's coming and showing up in your life as a result of that. And you know what? Immediately, it just totally dissolves it, okay? Like, for example, I had a fairly recent client with chronic UTIs on the money every month. And they kept giving him stronger and stronger antibiotics that wouldn't work. And they worked until, it dissolved it, but then it came back a week later. Kept recurring, So it was very persistent. And lo and behold, yes, there was a reason behind it. And the spiritual reason behind it was something that he needed to heal on a deeper soul level. And once we healed that, it took 1 hour session with me. And no more running to the doctors, no more need for antibiotics, no recurring infections, no infections at all, just gone, okay? So when it persists, it's time to look a little deeper. And you know what? Spirit is way more powerful than any antibiotic out there, than any doctor out there, than anything physically you can muster to force things, okay, or situations. And you know what? It just doesn't work, because you know what? Your soul wants you to see it. It wants to be seen. And so long as you're not seeing it, you're being resistant to seeing it, it is persisting in your life. And so the kind of healing that I do, I call it quantum healing, because it goes through all your bodies, your ethereal, emotional, your mental, your, whatever, physical body. On a total cellular level, you're making this change, this shift, as we're going through this type of healing. I also teach this. So if you are a healer, or want to be a healer, or a wellness practitioner, and you want to really help people, you need to learn this, quantum healing. Because you know what? When you can go deep into the soul and resolve things on a soul level, they resolve themselves naturally in our physical, space. And so if you want to learn this stuff, my next course will be coming up in May of 2020. And you need to do things beforehand, about a couple of months before that. You need to go through the healer training or program to basically experience it on your own skin and actually help you raise your vibration and prime your vibration for success. And that's a prerequisite for training the healer in quantum healing. If you're interested in those things, and or if you want to learn how to do this on yourself, I have a program for that as well. And if you're interested, please let me know. Message me, get in touch with me, get on my website. All my information is there. It's called thespiritualhealer.info, and I'd be happy to do a free video call with you or a phone call and talk about how I can help you. So have yourself a wonderful day, and hopefully it won't continue persisting, right? Okay, bye.